It started in China. It's a made in China crisis. The coronavirus pandemic began in China. It peaked, then it subsided. For the past 5 days, very few new cases are being reported in China. Temporary hospitals are being folded up. Emergency workers are being sent home. So China is recovering, but the rest of the world is struggling. There are more than 200,000 cases worldwide now. The figure has doubled in 2 weeks. More than 8,000 people have died. More than 82,000 people have recovered. China had almost half of the global cases, more than 81,000, 3,200 deaths. Now China's numbers are falling. But elsewhere, the death toll is mounting, the disease is spreading, and China is to blame. This is a Chinese virus. Tonight, we'll give you 4 reasons why. 1. China ignored reports of the virus for weeks when it was first reported. 2. China targeted the whistleblowers. 3. China destroyed test samples of patients. And 4. China lied to the world about how serious the situation is. Had China been transparent about the coronavirus outbreak, the world would have had a head start in containing this epidemic. The hashtag China lied, people died is trending. And there's merit to it. On this show tonight, we will show you evidence of China's cover-up. This report has been prepared after days of research and backed up by several international publications of repute. This is the story of the Chinese pandemic. The first cases trickled into Wuhan's hospitals almost 3 months ago. This was in December 2019. According to some reports, the first case of coronavirus emerged way back in November. Patients complained of dry coughs, high fevers and breathlessness. When lung scans were carried out, they showed something different. This was not your usual pneumonia. The patients continued to get more sick and more people became infected. The virus was spreading. But authorities looked the other way. A. Fen, the director of Wuhan Central Hospital, decided to carry out some tests, and her account was later published in China News Weekly. It's a Chinese magazine. The tests came back by the end of December. The results indicated a SARS-like coronavirus, a new disease that was rapidly spreading in Wuhan. Other doctors began reporting similar cases. One of them was Dr. Li Wenliang. This is the man on your screens. He noticed the early reports. Dr. Li was an ophthalmologist at the Wuhan Central Hospital. He was alarmed by what he saw. He was one of the first whistleblowers. He warned his colleagues about the outbreak over WeChat. WeChat is a social media platform much like WhatsApp that we use in India. Guess who read his messages on WeChat? China's internet police. The censors are everywhere in China. They read what you post. Dr. Li was summoned by the police in Wuhan. He was accused of spreading lies and rumors, targeted for speaking the truth. Dr. Li died last month. In February, he continued treating coronavirus patients as the government continued to target him. By now, it was well established that there was a disease outbreak in Wuhan. There were several patients and authorities had collected several samples. Researchers were carrying out tests and Beijing had been informed. They knew what was going on, and that is when the cover-up begins. On the 1st of January this year, an employee of a genomics company reportedly received a phone call from an official. This is a very important turn. This company was involved in the testing of the coronavirus samples. The Hubei Provincial Health Commission ordered them to stop the testing. Stop the testing. They were asked to destroy all existing samples. You heard that right. Destroy the samples, bury the proof of an outbreak. 2 days later, on the 3rd of January, China's National Health Commission ordered all institutions to not publish any information. Labs were ordered to transfer any samples that they had or destroy them. But this outbreak was too big to hide. 6 days later, China had to admit that it was dealing with the Wuhan coronavirus outbreak. So to sum it up, when the disease was detected, China refused to acknowledge it. When concerns were raised, China tried to silence voices. When proof was provided, China destroyed it. Beijing knew about the outbreak, but it suppressed the facts and let the virus spread. When countries around the world tried to impose travel restrictions or issue warnings, China lashed out at them. China said that they were spreading panic. When Chinese citizens faced scrutiny outside, China said that they were victims of racism. When the world demanded accountability, China said that the virus was an American import. For weeks, Chinese diplomats have been churning out propaganda. They're pushing conspiracy theories. They're trolling critics and blaming the US for this outbreak. The Wuhan coronavirus could have been stopped, but Beijing's cover-up unleashed a pandemic on the world.